So when it comes to the WNBA, where is it now and where do you see it going?
Where it is now is at this huge inflection point, and things have worked out almost as if the WNBA would have scripted it, right? There are several elements here that are in play now and over the next couple of years. So let's just kind of take each in turn, right? There is a new media rights deal that has been agreed to in WNBA as part of the overall NBA deal that exponentially increases the amount of money that the WNBA will have at its disposal beginning in 2025. And that means all kinds of things. That means the ability to invest more in infrastructure. That means that owners have more of a vested interest in investing their own money because there's more reward that comes on the other side of it. And potentially it means chance to pay players a lot more money. And so coincidentally, the WNBPA has the opportunity to opt out of the CBA that was signed in January of 2020, a very different time in women's basketball at the end of this season, which would trigger an end at the end of the 2025 season and begin a negotiation. And they've indicated they are likely to do so, but that suddenly means a sea change in what players are being paid. Before you even get into the off-season opportunities, whether it is Unrivaled, the new league that Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart are putting together, whether it's Athletes Unlimited, doing some really interesting things in a different model during the offseason. Suddenly, the need to play 12 months a year and play overseas for 7 months of it, which, leave aside from a professional perspective, is very challenging on the body. It is asking people in their 20s and 30s to go live in a different country for a majority of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a personal and emotional development perspective, it is an unfair ask. And so we're
Right.
seeing the circumstances of that changing fairly dramatically. Now you say, all right, what would be the best way to maximize what that media rights deal is going to look like? What would be the best way to put all that together? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the best ratings the WNBA has ever seen consistently time after time. That seems like pretty good timing. So you enter Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and even that's a great. There are people who have argued, I think in bad faith, it is all Caitlin Clark, and that is absurd because the WNBA's ratings, you go back to the last couple of years, have already been on the upswing. There are people who say, well, it's not just Caitlin Clark, and it's worth noting that disproportionately we are seeing the Caitlin Clark audiences even larger. But if you pull Caitlin Clark out of the equation, you are seeing attendance up dramatically. You are seeing merch sales up dramatically. In all these different ways, there's a big jump, and then Caitlin Clark supersized that jump as well. So it's not an either or. It is very much a yes and. It's why kind of the easiest tell are the people who are like, oh well, it's Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. And it's like, no, it's Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and about 140 other incredible basketball players. Come and learn their stories because it is a remarkable thing. The same way that, as you know, when we're in an MLB clubhouse, there's the most talked about player who has a very interesting story, but that player who had to struggle through the minor leagues to get there
Yeah.
at age 28 and is maybe only going to be there for a few weeks, he's got a great story too.